Hey everybody, it is Matty here with Altcoin Buzz with you on this Monday. I certainly hope your week is off to a great start. Today we're talking on ccn.com about one crypto bull's opinion. They say, like Amazon stock, Bitcoin is a, quote, screaming buy. And yes, the comparison will be made extensively to Amazon. We'll take a look at that. We are celebrating how the Bitcoin hash rate has hit a whopping 100 quintillion for the first time. It seems like just the other day we were talking about 70, 80 quintillion, which was a record at the time. All of a sudden, we are fast forwarding to 100, which is a big deal. Then we're talking about the Cardano Shelley Testnet rollout. We're here on iohk.io. We'll let you know what's happening here, taking the next steps on the road to Cardano Shelley and update you accordingly. And then finally on altcoinbuzz.io, bleeding Ethereum price finally shows higher gains than Bitcoin with this article by Deepika. So let's first take a look at the state of the market. We're down 1.8%, $263 billion total market cap. Bitcoin dominant slipping ever so slightly, but still at 69.4%. Everything is pretty much down at the time of this recording. Bitcoin down just about 3% actually at $10,209. The exception seems to be EOS at number 6, up 6.8% in the last 24 hours. It seems to really be the only project in the top 20 or so that is up, and up 6% or 6.8% in the last 24 hours is significant, especially in contrast against some of its other company here. You got to fast forward beyond number 20 to number 22. Cosmos is up 12.3%. That's also quite promising. Ontology right behind number 24, 4.8% up in the last day. Here now on ccn.com, according to a crypto bull, like Amazon stock, Bitcoin is a screaming buy. Article from the 8th of September. We're talking about Tour Demeester, who says that despite the recent dip in crypto prices, we're not in a bear market. Rather, he insists this is a, quote, post-ICO bubble Bitcoin bull market. So let's talk about the chart that Tour Demeester put out. It showed Amazon stock's erratic fluctuations from 1997 to 2009 in its volatility. AMZN, the Amazon ticker, during that time frame mirrored Bitcoin's current instability. Presumably, Demeester is suggesting that, like Amazon, Bitcoin will weather a series of roller coaster swings before exploding. Is this correct? Possibly, who knows? Of course, here's the tweet. This is no, quote, crypto bear market, but rather a post-ICO bubble Bitcoin bull market. The year is 2003. 99% of .com IPOs are dead. And just like Amazon then, Bitcoin today is a screaming buy. Take a look here at the timeline in particular, which you can track from the bottom of the graph. But then you got to kind of ask the question to those that are saying we're in a bear market. Well, Bitcoin's right now trading at 10,400, make that 10,200 as we just saw. Okay, well, that's a 168% spike in year-to-date earnings. So that's hardly a bear market, really, by anybody's definition. It'll take years before Bitcoin is considered another Amazon. Demeester claims that Bitcoin right now is where Amazon was in 2003. And, quote, just like Amazon, Bitcoin today is a screaming buy. It's a bold assertion. He's the founder of Adamant Capital. Adamant calls itself a Bitcoin alpha fund that promises to, quote, outperform Bitcoin in a tax-efficient manner. There are certainly some parallels that we can draw macroscopically. Like Bitcoin, Amazon stock struggled for years before it hit the big time. In fact, Amazon went public in 1997. The price was $18 a share at that point. And all the way up until 2008, it was still at about $96, up and down, up and down. And it wasn't until 2 years ago in 2017 that Amazon actually broke over $1,000. And since then, it's been doing pretty well. But we have to keep in mind, we often forget that it did take 20 years to get there. So maybe like Amazon, there will be some volatility for a little while. We'll be up, we'll be down a little bit. But eventually, according to people like Tim Draper, we could hit $250,000 per Bitcoin. However, the problem in this space is that there are so many impetuous individuals with this crypto myopia. They're very short-sighted and they can't see into the future. This clown show spotlights the immature approach many take toward crypto. If you own a house, you don't check its market value on an hourly basis. But you know what? Bitcoiners are guilty of that. So let us know what you think about this interpretation. Are there other reasons that Bitcoin may be comparable to Amazon? Do you have the long-term outlook, as does Tour Demeester, as does Tim Draper? I kind of do. I take that perspective as well. Let us know your thoughts, as always, in the comments below on this issue. And here now we're on fxstreet.com. Bitcoin hash rate to hit a whopping 100 quintillion for the first time. 100 quintillion. Data from statistics and wallet provider blockchain published on the 8th of September shows that as of that date, Bitcoin's hash rate has topped 94 quintillion hashes per second. Here is some of the data, as you can see for yourself. And this, in my opinion, has always been a leading indicator, and sometimes leading by quite a while in terms of weeks or months. But it's much better than the alternative. Imagine if that hash power were steadily dropping. That would be a different story. But to see it steadily increasing, at least in my opinion, is encouraging. A record in itself. The number is now set to reach 100 quintillion for the first time in Bitcoin's history. Commentators suggest, as Cointelegraph has explained, hash rate refers to the overall computing power involved in processing Bitcoin transactions. The more power, the more secure and profitable the Bitcoin network is. Hash rate spent 6 months in recession during the second half of 2018 before staging a dramatic comeback in January of this year. 3 months later, Bitcoin price followed suit. You see what I mean? 3 months later, that seems to be about the time frame. And it rose from 3,500 to local highs of $13,800. So does this bode well? What does this mean for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, maybe a year from now if things continue to rise? The hash power, of course, is the backbone of the network's technology. So I like to see this. 100 quintillion is going to be reason to celebrate. We'll have to pop the champagne if and when that does finally happen. But great news. Let us know your thoughts about that below. We're looking now at the IOHK blog talking about Cardano's Shelley testnet taking the next step on the road to Cardano Shelley. This article from a few days ago, the 6th of September. Networking coming to Jormungandr testnet in September, paving the way for stake delegation and real data ADA incentives later this year. In June, we delivered the first testnet build of Jormungandr. This self-node phase was focused on the single instance implementation to refine the code base and ensure that it was robust. It was important to get non-network functionality right before starting the next phase, but we also wanted to provide some of the core network protocols in that early code, hence calling it blockchain in a box. We've had some excellent support from the community, especially the folks on the Stake Pool Telegram channel. Every piece of feedback has helped us improve the protocol, the ledger, and the node itself. And as per Charles Hoskinson and his outlining in his recent AMA Ask Me Anything, we will soon enter phase 2 of the testnet rollout, network implementation. Now that the node is more stable, we can challenge the network stack to see how it holds up and check how our predictions on its behavior measure up. And that means more experimentation with the community, with you, of course. Again, the goal here is to test and iterate until we are confident we have a stable network. Your support and feedback during this process will be invaluable, whether you are there from the beginning or choose to join the network phase later on. And when phase 2 is complete, we will have a stable network, a decentralized testnet platform running across multiple nodes. Then we will commence the third and final phase, the incentivized testnet, which you can read a little bit more about here. But Cardano is very excited for the next few months. We're looking forward to you joining us on the journey. And hey guys, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, here's some important information. If you are interested in running a stake pool and would like to get the very latest news on the testnet program, you can sign up for Cardano's weekly report newsletter by visiting the form here. It's hyperlinked here within the article, or just visit the Cardano forum where you'll find progress updates every single week. Of course, we know there are many fans of ADA in the Altcoin Buzz Army, so why not take up the call, participate in this initiative, and be sure to keep an eye out on what they are going to be producing shortly down the pipeline. Finally, on altcoinbuzz.io for today, bleeding Ethereum price finally shows higher gains than Bitcoin. Article here by Deepika. Ethereum price finally shows higher signs of recovery than Bitcoin. The community had to wait for months for it to happen, but will this sustain? After a few, quote, no recovery months, the leading altcoin exhibited better signs of recovery than Bitcoin. Finally, this happened to Ethereum's price after week-long bleeding. The gains surpassed the community expectation as it exhibited 6.4% gains at the time of press. And I noted that the other day. It was kind of a flat, slightly negative day for Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you had a lot of the altcoins up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8%, seemingly out of nowhere. And for the first time in a while, let's be honest. Supporters of Ethereum and other altcoins, of course, as Deepika points out, received a massive slamming by Bitcoin maximalists earlier in the week, and it was a welcome change to see all of a sudden their projects go up. This pushed the price to $181 for Ethereum. Earlier in the week, Ethereum announced that the Istanbul hard fork was pushed to October. Prior to the announcement, the major protocol and scalability update under the Istanbul fork was scheduled for September. And hopefully you all enjoyed some other gains in that recent altcoin run. We did see Litecoin up 7.5%. EOS was up 12% the other day. As we saw, it's up again today, about 6-7%. NEO is up 2.73%. Bitcoin Cash 6.29%, as well as some others that we saw. And it's still not clear, as Deepika points out, what catalyzed those gains, but you know what? They were notable. So leave your hypotheses in the comments below. We're still piecing together the variables of that mystery, but it was nice to see nonetheless. That about rounds it out today, everybody. Do be sure you are following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Hey, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications if you enjoyed today's video. I wish you luck if you choose to invest, but have a great start to your week, a great Monday, and we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.